Here we are, Athens, Greece. Actually, I'm at the Casbah. Oh, I hate saying that word. Casbah. I'm at the catering place here. We're going on the scoop. And today, we are going to Port Richmond, which we're already in. It's not that we're going into. But we're going to Kensington Playground because I hear this. Oh, I almost ate it. Almost got hit by a car. I hear that the Kensington Playground is under construction and they're tearing it down. All right. So we're going to Kensington Playground, which is at Goal and Ann. I grew up. I lived in a house on Ann Street. And since I lived on Ann Street, my playground that I spent probably the majority of my time in this neighborhood was Kensington. Most people call it Cahox. I say Kensington because it's fun to say. It's a Native American word. It means land between the tigers and the leprechauns. And right now there's one person laughing at that joke, and that's all. That's the one person I told it for. If you're from Port Richmond, you might get it. Almond Street, here it is. There's A&W Playground. A&W Playground. A&W stands for Almond and Westmoreland. It's odd. I call the peanuts almonds. No, I call Almond Joy. Almond Joy. No, it's Almond Joy. I say Almond Joy, but I call the street Almond Street. And everybody else does too. I don't know why we don't call it almond, but that's how we just talk weird. But everybody does it. Okay, look at this. This is Campbell Square. Oh, we're dead 2 or 3 months ago. Me and Rick the puppy went for a walk down here, and there was a street caved in, right here. Look at this. All paved in. There you go. Driving through this neighborhood is probably one of the most maddening. Ooh, that's tough. I go insane driving through here. Sometimes I'll traffic on 95, which is a little bit in that direction. if you have X-ray vision and can see through buildings, if you look a half a mile down the road, you will see that oh wait. Oh my God. Yo, that just happened down the street. Oh, wow. Here we are, Almond and Clementine. Check this out. Oh, boy. This street caved in where that sinkhole was about a few months ago, and now this is caving in. When I was a kid, there was a street a block or two this way called Thompson Street. And that street caved in. I think someone died when the street caved in. And I had a friend, Franny Boldock and Joey Boldock. And they lived on Thompson Street. And I remember, I don't know if their car got sunken in or maybe their neighbor's car got eaten by the sinkhole down this street. Mingo Ave used to be this waterway called Gunner's Run. And and this street's newly paved. Here comes the raindrops. Let's get to getting. Driving through Port Richmond is maddening. It's just tough because there's all these streets are caving in and they're doing all these construction jobs, like they're working on these pipes. Here we go. We got a house for sale in Port Richmond, 3006 Belgrade Street. You got a little porch, right? My aunt and uncle used to live at this house right here. You got a little tiny porch. Biggest porch on the block. You could brag about that. Looks like a nice little house. Let me know. How much is it going for in the comments? So I know in my neighborhood, I think I think my street's caving in, but I think other streets are caving in too. So the city is doing some test, and they drill these big holes in the street to see how far down. I don't know if that comes out, but it doesn't look like there's much holding this street up. I don't know. So Anyway, I think the Earth is going to eat us all, and we're all going to die soon. That's all. Don't worry. No fear. All right, here we are. Goal and right there. That's the Leprechaun sporting team. They had Leprechauns do football, baseball. They might do other sports now too, but they were mostly, actually when I was a kid, they were basically baseball and football. Over there, that's Richmond School, and the next street is where I grew up. This is Ann Street. Shout out to the 24-hour barbecue crew. This is where I found out about the O.J. Simpson chase. I was coming down this street. Right here. This is my old baseball team I played for. This is called the Port Richmond Tigers. Look at that. This is who I played baseball for. Established in 1976. We played baseball on this field. And this is Cohoxic. All right, this is it. The old Cahox playground. The basketball courts were right here. There was like a weird stickball field. And the playground and the pool. And it's all gone. And I'm flooded with emotion. Oh. Wow, everything's gone. There's half of the basketball court right there. There was a playground on the other side. And the weird stickball field was right here. I don't think I've ever seen this gate closed. Ever. Yeah, they built this wreck sometime in the 80s. And this fence was new. So this is the second remodel of this playground in my lifetime. This is the rec center. Cohoxic. The rec center is pretty big. They have a few rooms in there. I think they teach preschool, and they have what else do they have in there? Oh, there's a big basketball gym, real big basketball gym inside. Used to play indoor soccer in here. Here it is, the pool, Cahox pool. I spent a lot of time in this pool. Hung out with Stevie Richards. I didn't hang out with him. I kind of creepily stalked him. I watched him in the pool. You know? I'm a big wrestling fan, so. Right around here is where I met Stevie Richards. The rules: no smoking, no rough play, no food or drink, no foul language, no ball playing, no floats, no cut-off shorts, Blue Meanie or Stevie Richards, no shirts, no goggles, no jumping, no diving. We still had fun. Oh, I wonder if this wall's staying, because there is Flemish bond on that wall. Flemish bond is a type of brickwork where you got that brick. See how that brick's like that? And then that one is a little bit, and then you got that one. The one thing I remember happening at the Jitneys, there was a kid. His first name was Mikey. And he was tortured by his parents in the basement of the house. And I remember it happened in 1993, because I remember he got to meet the 93 Phillies. The entire team went to the hospital and they met him. And believe it or not, I was jealous of the kid, who I think his parents like put cigarettes out on him. And I was so jealous that he got to meet the 93 team. Yeah, over here, this was the playground. There was swing. The swings were over here on that side, but they had like, monkey bars, sliding board. Over there is a better shot of the pool. Well, the trees are staying. At least no trees died in the making of this playground. All right, well, that's kind of depressing. Oh, let's get more depressed. Right here, this is my grade school I went to for a year. Oh, look at this baseball. Right here is my my old grade school. This building right in front of us, this brick, this is all new. That's the old building, and they added this one. But if you look, oh, look at that, it still remains. That is the home plate of the greatest stickball field that ever existed. And now, you could probably play half-seas there. That's when you cut a tennis ball in half and you hit it against the wall. Half-sea sucks. It's not as much fun as stickball. Yeah, this used to be the stickball field. Had my, this is the corner of where I spent most of my childhood on this street. This used to be Frank the Tailor's. Now it's nothing. Oh man, look at this. This is a sign. That's a shame. This is a kid named Sean Daly who was murdered. He got attacked coming out of this alleyway right here. He was taking a piss in the alleyway, and then he had a bunch of friends hanging out on the corner. And when he came out from taking the piss in the alleyway, my backyard used to be down here. When he came out from taking the piss, a bunch of guys attacked him with a bat. I think they got the wrong guy. Like, Sean had nothing to do with it. And then they shot him, and he actually, I remember when we found Sean, me and my dad were one of the first people in the scene. We found him laying right here, and then my dad went around the corner about a block or two away. That's where Keith Daly lived. That was Sean's dad. And anyway, this is a sign talking about Sean and how he was murdered. But it happened in 1989, May. I can't even read the date now because it's so unclear. 1989. So we're going on 35 years now? 45 years. No, I'm 45. 35 years almost. Yeah, and I lived on this house here. And I remember we were sitting on my house on the front. We were watching TV in the living room of this house. And we heard pop, pop, pop. And I thought it was fireworks. Oh, look at this. You want to live in the house next door to the house I grew up in? You could buy it. It's for sale. 2554 Ann Street. Let me know what it's going for in the comments. I'm dying to know what it's going for in the comments. So anyway, the Sean Daly sign melted. That's a shame. They still have a softball tournament in his honor. Ooh, slow down. They have a softball tournament in his honor at Cahock's every year. Even during the pandemic, when you weren't supposed to gather, they still had that softball tournament. People had to get out of the house. They're like, listen, you ain't taking my goddamn Sean Daly softball tournament from me. And the sad thing is, the Sean Daly softball tournament has been going on longer than Sean was alive. Another sad thing is Sean was murdered. And the people who murdered him are, I believe they're all out of jail. Or maybe not all of them, maybe, because like, he was attacked by multiple people, but definitely some of the people involved in his murder are out of jail. This is a pole. And what it's really here for is to prevent people from parking on the pavement. But back in the day, people would tie their horses to these poles and then go in. I guess people were right. No, I remember there used to be a dude who had a fruit truck. Matter of fact, I think he had it on Cedar Street. And we called him a huckster. And he would drive around on a buggy, and it got pulled by a horse, and he would sell red Jersey tomatoes, 3 pounds, $1. We got bananas, 4 pounds, $1. Watermelon. He was pretty good at it. And also we had, when we were kids, we had people who would walk down the streets. It was mostly kids. And they would have wagons. And in the wagons, they would have soft pretzels. And they would go, fresh pretzels already. And then you would they were kind of like a poor man's ice cream truck. It was just a kid yelling, fresh pretzels. And if you wanted a pretzel, you put your head out the door and you buy a bag of pretzels off a kid who's been picking his nose and peeing his pants all day. It's fantastic. Fresh fresh pretzels. And then once I remember we had a kid who didn't even do fresh pretzels. He did, I think all he said was fresh. He would go, fresh! Because pretzels was too hard. Fresh! I better not do that. People may think I'm selling pretzels. Here's another property for sale. 2351 Clearfield Street. Let me know in the comments, what's it going for? This is the Chinese restaurant in Port Richmond. That's what I called it. It actually had the name Holy Chan. There was a fire, a few months ago. I think I heard that they were going to come back. Look at this. 2 scooter friends. Here we are. So yeah, this is Port Richmond, and when you go into this neighborhood, usually around Aramingo Avenue, and I'm not saying it's not on the other side of Aramingo, there are definitely homeless people living in places in that area too, but this is where you'll start seeing signs of like the Kensington effect, I guess, where you'll see people passed out because of drugs, and people start, this is where my sketch meter starts going up. People deal drugs here. People, it's not as crazy as Kensington, but it's close, and it never used to be that way. I guess that's true about anything. Never used to be that way till it becomes it. Yeah, so Kensington Ave, about 15-minute walk in that direction, depending on how fast you walk. And I was kind of curious to see what's going on in this neighborhood next to Kensington. You see, you got people that camp up out here. Now look, I'm not saying that homeless people don't have the right to encamp anywhere. I'm just saying that yesterday the politicians did a victory lap, and it made me so disgusted to see them acting like they did anything besides kick a bunch of homeless people to somewhere else. So I'm just trying to prove a point that I don't think these politicians, they really lit a fire under my ass. This is the old bakery, right? No, the bakery, that was a dry cleaners. I think the bakery was on the corner, and over there, that was the old, what was it called? Chuckles Comedy Bar. Joe Coughlin, if you listen to that garbage radio station he's part of, Joe Coughlin, he kind of was there all the time. Here's a house for rent. 2039 Clearfield Street. I would say we are in Kensington. We're 2 blocks from my school. I can't stop thinking about what's going on in this neighborhood, and I can't believe, I swear to God, I heard a politician say the word successful yesterday, and I just keep thinking about that, like, what part of this is a success? There's a YouTube live stream on that building across the street, and right now there are nobody encamped on what that camera is showing at Kensington and Allegheny, but everywhere else that the camera isn't pointing, there's people doing nonsense and tomfoolery. Uh-oh. I would, last 2 days, I have noticed that I have seen people, like, while they're high on drugs, I have seen cops, like, talking to them, but usually that's not the case. Usually you see all the fires that were here. Look at that many. It's a miracle this, I guess it's because it's masonry, but it's a miracle that this building didn't burn down. Here's a cool mural. Hashtag piss. right, I gotta get back to the car before the rain comes. I mean, oh no, okay. No, so we still have this going on, and the cops are right here not doing anything. What's the point? You know what it is? I'm disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. Maybe I'm expecting too much. I really thought they were going to enforce people selling drugs. I really thought they were going to enforce, when they see people openly using drugs on the streets, I thought maybe the cops would do that. But when I'm told there's no room in the prisons for them, so there's no room in the prisons, and you can't. It's making my head throb. That's why I don't make content down here too often. It drives me nuts because, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't get when people... And I really feel this is true. I really feel sometimes when you see the news stories about Kensington and you see all these advocates talking about the people who are getting high on drugs, I don't hear one fucking person talking about the mental trauma these fucking kids who lived in this neighborhood see. And, you see, that's a roadside memorial. That's because somebody was killed there. And if they put a roadside memorial where every person was killed in this neighborhood or where somebody died because of a drug overdose, there'd be nothing but... Oh, God damn it, I almost ate it. There'd be nothing but memorials everywhere in this neighborhood. I lost my cousin. He died. He was always down here getting shit, and he OD'd. And my best friend, his brother died because of the shit down here. And I often wonder, if it wasn't so readily available, would they still be alive? Or would they if they were born in St. Louis, would they have gotten high on the drugs that are down here? I have another friend who has a brother who's been sober for decades. No, 2 decades, 20 years he had sober. And he broke his sobriety, or he relapsed. And he lives in a neighborhood close to Kensington Ave, and I'm sure, and I got my demons too. I have a problem with alcohol. It's hard for me, if I have a beer, it's hard for me to stop drinking beer. So I don't drink beer. I can't do it. But I'm telling you, sometimes the temptation when I'm at a ballpark, especially when it hits 90 degrees, the temptation to have a Luganagels, a summer shaddy, whatever the hell they're called. I get it once in a while. I get that bug, but I gotta say no, and I gotta keep on, and so. But I do get the itch once in a while, and I tell myself no, and I hope I stay. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be okay when it comes to the booze, because I know it's going to have a physical effect on my life, and I've already done probably so much damage with the drinking I've done. I'm going to stop. And but I get that itch every so often. And if I was a former drug addict, living this close to Kensington Ave, having it so readily available, you must itch harder than anybody else in the country recovering, because it's so easy to buy stuff. So, I don't know. I thought when I went down Kensington Ave earlier today, I really didn't feel unsafe. I felt really safe because, one, there was a ton of cops down there, and I didn't feel, my sketch meter wasn't even going, and it's never not going on Kensington Ave. And I can't tell you, the sketch meter was pinned at 10 at some times. I'm back on the Port Richmond side of things. I think they used to have some encampments up in here. I think that's why there was a fire and they chopped down all the trees. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them. Look at this. New restaurant here in Port Richmond. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but here it is at Memphis and Westmoreland. Jamaican Bistro. Jerk chicken. I'll have to try that out. That's the second Jamaican restaurant I've seen in this area. I went from 0 Jamaican restaurants to 2 in about a 3-mile radius. I think I had oxtail one time. Here we are. Little movie location. Right around here, I think it was the Artistic Nails and Spa. That is Apollo Creed's gym in the movie Creed. That's and if you see Creed, this is Aramingo Avenue. If you watch the movie Creed, they have palm trees up and down Aramingo Avenue. So if you ever want to see what it was like to see Port Richmond be in California, it's just palm trees. There's a Petco. Over there, that's Shoppers World. That used to be a Pathmark and an Acme. Acme. That's where you can find Heckler's Hot Sauce, the hottest hot sauce in Philadelphia. Matter of fact, the guy who started Heckler's Hot Sauce, his name's Dan Heckler. He lived in this neighborhood, Port Richmond. And that's kind of why I'm going a little gung-ho with the pushing of the Heckler's Hot Sauce. I want the guy, he's just coming, it's a new startup company, and I really want the guy to succeed. So if you go to an Acme, check out Heckler's Hot Sauce. It's in the meat department, not the hot sauce department. It's in the meat department. Ask the butcher, where's the spicy hot sauce? Heckler's Hot Sauce. Okay. So we're in Port Richmond, and you see there's still people. Wow, there's quite a few people camped out here. And I've never seen this before. This is where the Social Security Administration is. So if you ever need to get a Social Security card. Ooh. Here's one of the things that you don't really think about. All right, so this guy is spazzing out on a drug. I'm trying not to really... Okay, I'll make sure I'm not really showing his face. But there's a nurse at the front door standing there. And now people... it's a physical therapy place. So people want to come and go, but you got a guy who's like spazzing out on drugs. I once was at a Family Dollar, which is like a supermarket. It's sort of like a supermarket and a dollar store combined in one. And I remember for 5 minutes, I saw a dude just screaming at the top of his lungs, just going through something. And I remember when I was standing there was like a kid next to me. And he was trying to go to the store, but he couldn't get in the store because the guy was crazy high out of his mind. That store eventually closed. This Ross, I think they're doing it at a lot of Rosses. You have to, when you come in the store, they like pull out this tape and they give you a speech about how everything's being monitored and they're watching you for your security and all this stuff. So it's a little weird in here. Getting, but yeah, I've never seen people actually like, it looks like there's a guy sleeping right there, and you got the guy spazzing out, and there's another homeless guy with a dog over there. So what they did, the city cleared off Kensington Avenue. A lot of the businesses on Kensington Ave are vacant. So they had people camping out in front of vacant businesses, and now they're camping out in residential neighborhoods or actual stores that are open. So I just wonder what the follow-up is. What's the next step? Or is that it? Because the city had to hang up signs telling people, yo, if you set up a tent in this area, we're going to knock it down May 8th. If you're not out by May 8th, it doesn't matter. It's going in the trash. And I didn't see any. I got to go look again. But I didn't see any signs for a future date in June or a future date in July. So I hope I hope there's more to come, and I wish everybody would. It doesn't matter. Wishes. What the Green Day say: wish in one hand, shit in the other. Let's see which one gets filled first. Old Rite Aid that it closed recently. It went through some shit. They looted the store. Oh, safe light signs. Oh, it's a tent. Oh, it's kind of innovative. Hashtag piss. Oh, there's people here too. I think there's been people here. Now, there's always people on Aramingo Ave panhandling. Here we are. There's always people camping out down here, panhandling. So this is nothing new. It's new for the Imperial Plaza. I've never seen people doing that before. But they could also, you know what? Those people might not be sleeping there. They might just be high and they're just snoozing for a bit. All right. Well, that was an interesting little scoot. We saw a little bit of Port Richmond, a little bit of Kensington. I get obsessed with Kensington. Like, it's something I think about. Like, after all I get done, like, here's when I make a baseball video, after I'm done editing it and it's uploaded and it's premiered, I don't ever think about that video again or the Phillies. You know, I'll check. You know, the Phillies have a game. I'll check the score on Twitter, but I don't obsess about the Phillies. I can't stop thinking about Kensington. It just I don't know why. It's just a part of who I am, and it's where I'm from, and I have a lot of friends who are there. My family's there. I think a lot of it has to do with my grandmother, my grandmom, who is my favorite person in the world, who is celebrating 100 years this year. She turns 100. Well, she doesn't turn 100 because, you know, she smoked the Pale Mouse, son, without the filter. So she's no longer with us. But I associate Kensington with my family, so it holds a special place in my heart. And I also really can't stand politicians, and they really pissed me off. And now I swear to God, the guy during that press conference, he said, "We just finished cleaning Kensington Ave. It was a success." I said, "What the fuck? How dare you? How dare you say?" Red lights are optional in the city. Did you know that? Well, if you like this video, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, and while you're at it, hit subscribe, please. If you want to check out... get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Oh, get him. Give him a ticket. You're not getting him. Damn it. Trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. If you can help me do that by the All-Star break, I really appreciate it. So please subscribe. Just so you know, I just don't make Kensington content. I make content all over the city. I do a lot of baseball stuff during the baseball season. And so please give me a subscribe. Also, just so you know, you may see what's going on in Kensington and think Philadelphia is a shithole. I see that comment in the comments a lot. Just so you know, the George Washington and Ben Franklin parts of Philadelphia are fucking amazing. And this city is, even with its warts and blemishes and it's Kensington Aves and G Streets and all that stuff. It's still the best city in the goddamn world, and I love it. So I do have to lock my car, and my car gets hit by a lot of people with hit and runs, and nobody has insurance, and people try to steal my car. That shit happens a lot, but I don't know why I put up with it, and I don't know why I like it so much. I guess it's because it's all I know, so I like it. So, toodles.